Hello. Today is Sunday, November 10th, 2024, and I'm back after a bit. It's been a little while, and I have some stuff to talk about today. I feel like I need a space to process everything and share my thoughts and get it organized, and hopefully it'll document and also help in a way. My idea is to do weekly videos, whatever happens during the week, whatever thoughts I have, different things I'm doing to move forward towards my goals and all that stuff. So this week, as you could tell from the title, the quote is, "Don't let perfection be the enemy of the good." This first time might be a little incoherent. I don't know if all my thoughts make sense, but I have some notes of things I want to talk about. So just now, today, I just had a talk with my parents, and it was about this whole college process, and it basically started because they were asking me why wasn't I joining any clubs or going to try things out, and I'm thinking about computer science, so they were like, you should go join your school's coding club or try stuff out. And I got very stressed and overwhelmed, and I kind of shut down, and I really didn't want to talk about it. Afterwards, after a little bit, we talked, and it's this idea of, why don't you just take the chance? And I get really stressed out about thinking about college and about extracurriculars and everything that I could be doing, because I guess in a way it kind of reminds me of everything that I'm not doing. And so it's yeah, I'm actually behind in a way. I feel like I'm someone that overthinks a lot, and I think a lot about a lot of stuff, but a lot of times I spend more time thinking about what I want to do or what I should do or what I haven't been doing, and thinking about what will happen if I don't do this, or thinking about how far behind I am, or thinking about everything that I missed out on instead of actually doing things. I get too caught up in my head, and a lot of times even I psych myself out from doing things because I'm this won't help with anything, or joining this club won't do anything for my extracurriculars, or it won't help my application, or it actually doesn't fulfill me that much, and so why am I even doing it, or it's not going to be very impressive, so all that stuff. And I just end up not doing things because I'm I won't be good at that, or that's not going to help me, and it's going to be a waste of my time. And it results in me being very not proactive. It's that saying, you miss out on every shot that you don't take. You lose 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's so true. I'm letting myself down by not letting myself succeed. I think a lot of this for me stems from a need to be perfect, and I strive for perfection, or at least really good results. And so if something isn't up to my standards or what I think the standards should be, it doesn't feel worth my time or my energy. For joining clubs or finding extracurriculars to do, a lot of times I'm oh no, joining this club won't do anything for my applications, it won't help, or I can't go into the competition, I'm not gonna win, so it's not gonna do anything, and it's just gonna be a waste of my time. And the thought process behind that, the root of that, is my belief that everything that I need to do needs to have some tangible result, and it needs to like be something that will impact and contribute positively to me and to my future and to my applications and to college and whatever. And the moment that I'm unsure of whether or not it will, or the moment that like it's not as impressive as I want something to be, I talk myself out of doing it because I'm like, I could be doing so much more stuff with my time, but then I don't end up doing anything anyways, because I get so stressed out trying to find new things to do, trying to find the most perfect thing to do, that I never end up getting somewhere. And I'm always just stuck in this loop in my mind of I need to be doing something better and more than what I am doing, but I can't find anything that is better, or I don't have the energy to do something that's better, or I'm not good enough to do something better, and so I don't do any of it. Going back to don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. I want everything to be perfect, and I want every single action that I take to be very tangibly impactful to me, that I miss out on the good stuff, the okay stuff, the stuff that will still put me in the right direction, the baby steps that I could be taking because I want to have something more. I want like a giant leap that will set me forward. And it's like I can't take a big leap if I don't even have the momentum to do that. I can't take a big leap if I haven't taken the tiny baby steps that lead up to the jump. But freaking analogies. But like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, I think I focus too much on the outcome instead of the process. I'm always focusing on whether or not I can be good at this, whether or not I will be one of the best, whether or not I will learn something from it, or if this will help me get more connections or whatever. Like, I'm focusing on what this can bring me instead of why I'm doing it or what the thing is in the first place, in a way. I saw on TikTok once, or maybe it was Reels, I don't know, but this video, and it kind of like, it struck me, and it's kind of stuck with me since. And it's this idea that the time will still pass. Whatever you don't want to do, whatever you think is going to take too much time, or be too hard, or be too stressful, or you're not able to do it, or it's too much on your plate right now, and all these things, whether that's like learning a new language, or picking up a new hobby, taking like a big test, whatever, learning how to drive, like, oh, like it's gonna take too long, like learning a language, it takes like years, and like I can't study for a test in like a month, like it's not enough time, and like all this stuff, the time will still pass. That month that you think is too short to study for the test, that month will still pass. You will still live those days, those weeks, those moments. The 10 years that you might think will take to learn a language, you will still experience those 10 years. Those 10 years will still pass. And you will still go through those 10 years no matter what you're doing. So why not just do something that will get you somewhere in those 10 years? Am I, like, I don't know if this is coming off well. It's like, if you have the time, you are always going to go through this time. Time is inevitable. Time is never stopping. You're always going to be moving forward in time. So why don't you move forward in your goals during the same amount of time? It's not like you say, oh, learning this language is going to take 10 years. So if I don't learn this language, I have 10 years more. No, you have the same amount of time. You still have the same 10 years that you would have if you were learning the language alongside whatever else you're doing at the same time. And it's like you're going to look back in 10 years and be like, damn, I'm here 10 years later. And 10 years ago, I could have started learning this language. And by the time that I'm here, I would have known this language. But instead, 10 years have passed and now it's like even later. Like if I want to learn the language now, I have to wait another 10 years. But it's that thing like, okay, like it's always going to take 10 years. It's always going to be something that takes time, but the time is always going to pass. You're always going to have the time to do something. So why don't you do it now? Why don't you start now? And later on, once that time has inevitably passed, you can say that I did something with this time. And that even though it took time, it's here now, it's done now, and I did it, and I went through this, and, you know, it's something that I need to, like, push me forward. Like, I need to adopt this mentality of do and just worry about the outcome later. I will do stuff now, and I will deal with the consequences and the outcomes and the impacts later. I will do this now, and I will see how far I come later. But for now, all I can do is just take the step to do it. And it's like, maybe if I do something now, I'll look back and be like, damn, that was so freaking useless. But also, like I did something with my time. I didn't just sit there. And instead, I can also look back and be like, damn, that was useless. But at least I know that that was useless now. If I didn't do that thing that I wanted to do, I would have looked back in a few years and be like, what if I had done that? It's like the what ifs. Like, what if I tried harder? What if I did more stuff? Would I be where I am now? Would I be better than where I am now? Give yourself no room to live in regret. And that's something that I'm really trying to do. And it's hard. It's really hard because you get stuck in this loop of just like anxious thoughts and overthinking and being like buts and ifs, and it's really, 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 really hard. Like even now, even my YouTube channel, my last video, I had all these plans for myself. I was like, I was going to do all these stuff and devote my time to all this, and it's been like a month, 2 months, 3 months. I still have not done like half the things, 3/4 of the things that I said I would do in that video. I feel like a lot of times, like my personality, I have like bursts of motivation. Like right now is a burst of motivation because I'm filming this video and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to do these weekly videos and I'm going to be this great YouTuber and I'm going to document all my thoughts and like I'm going to look back and see all my progress that I've made, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be great. But even now, like I'm kind of looking at the outcome, not the process. I'm realizing that like I'm doing a lot of stuff because I'm like, oh, like this is going to be good for me and this is going to help me a lot. But I need to like let go of my expectation of doing things just to do them. I need to do them for the sake of doing them and not confine myself to a certain reality or outcome that I want to happen. I have these like bursts of motivation, and then I like get really excited and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to change my life and I'm going to do all these great things and like be better with my life and it's gonna be great. And then after a while, I feel like I lose that motivation so quickly, and it's hard for me to get that self-discipline that I need to keep going without motivation. Self-discipline, I feel like, is such an important skill to have. It's a skill. Like it's a talent to have self-discipline. It is so important and it is so impactful. And it's hard to keep reminding yourself to be disciplined. It's easy to like do one thing and be like, okay, I did this one thing and I worked so hard and now I'm tired. Now I want to take a break. And yes, take breaks, but not as an excuse for validating yourself on doing like the bare minimum. I'm so stressed about college apps, about extracurriculars, and I feel like every time like it's like slightly mentioned, like I get like really triggered. I get like very stressed and it eats me up, and I like I should be doing research or whatever, finding different extracurriculars, looking at asking like graduated students for their advice, or like looking on YouTube and searching up like ways to like improve and like things to do and extracurriculars to find and all this stuff. But I know that like if I look it up, like I get anxious, like it stresses me out so much. adds so much to my stress, and I start comparing myself so much, and it hinders me even more. But I'm like using that as an excuse, kind of, because it's validating my laziness or like my lack of doing stuff. And I'm like, oh, like I can't watch these videos, I can't do more research because it's gonna stress me out, and like #mental health. But it's also like the reason that it stresses me out is because I'm comparing myself. It's because I'm focusing on my outcome instead of the process. It's because I'm trying so hard to do things that matter, and I'm looking at everyone else that is doing things that matter, and I'm like, I'm so far behind. But it's like, I need to learn from their drive. I need to learn from people that are similar to me. I need to learn to separate myself and my own anxious thoughts with my need and my drive to go and do more. Like, I need to be able to watch these videos and feel motivated and be like, okay, yes, this is good advice, this is good things that I need to do, and I will take it into my heart, and I will like put it into my life, and I will do these things. And I need to separate that from my emotional like comparison, like, oh my gosh, like I'm so far behind and I'm so bad and it is so hard for me to do stuff, and why am I so lazy and I'm so unproactive and all this stuff. It's so easy to compare yourself. It is so easy to, you feel like you're already too far behind to catch up. It's so easy to be like, it's not worth it anymore, so why would I do this? Why would I put effort in? Because it's not going to help, it's not going to do anything, it's going to take a long time, it's going to be so tiring, it's going to be hard work. I need to stop being scared of hard work and just work. Like, after I finish recording this video, I'm going to sit right here, I'm going to finish freaking editing this video, and I'm going to post it. And yeah, those are my thoughts for today. There's definitely more, but it's hard to, it's like jumbled up. Like, I don't know how to convey it, and I don't even know what else there is. So this is where I'm going to end it. I know it is so much. It is so hard to feel like you're doing the right thing or that you're on the right track in life. And it is so easy to self-doubt and question yourself and question your actions and question your progress. And it's so easy to think nothing can help or everything is like hopeless, and it's so easy to dismiss things because you think nothing could help you in this situation. It's so easy to get caught up in your own head. But don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. Don't let yourself get caught up in the expectations of this outcome instead of just focusing on doing the best you can along the process. Don't focus on what your life is going to look like 10 years from now if you do this one thing. So just do the one thing. Do the one thing and look at how your life is going to look like 10 years from now later. Do the one thing and keep doing more things. Keep doing little things until you get to the point where you're 10 years in the future and you look back and you're like, thank goodness I did that one thing. Take things one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Compare yourself to yourself only. Look at yourself and be like, am I doing things that are good for me? Am I doing things that I want to do? Am I actively trying? Don't compare yourself to others and being like, why are they moving so much faster, doing so much more, having so much more energy than I am? This person's life is not going to impact you in the slightest compared to how you are going to impact your own life. In the end, these other people that are going to Ivies and achieving their dreams and doing the best they can, they are not going to be a part of your life forever. They are not going to impact you as much as you are going to impact yourself. So focus on impacting yourself. Focus on giving yourself the chance to make yourself better, instead of being like, I'm already so much worse, so I'm just going to stay worse. And I'm going to stay not as good as everyone else, and I'm going to stay behind, and I'm going to stay in this like rut, and I can't get out. But that's just your mind. That is just your mind talking to yourself and preventing yourself from doing things that you could be doing. And give yourself grace. Give yourself room to mess up and make mistakes, but always remember that something is always better than nothing. 1% is always better than 0. 0.1% is always better than 0. If you can just do 0.1% today, that is way better than if you did nothing at all. So yeah, I hope this video was not too rambly, or I hope you were able to follow along as best you could. And this is life. Ups and downs, and I'll probably have this crisis again in like 2 weeks, but who doesn't? And it's normal. Everything you feel is normal. Every anxious thought and every thing you feel is normal and relatable, and yeah. Do things for the sake of doing them. Do things just because you can. Do things just because you want to try it out. Do things just to prove yourself wrong. And then you'll see, and then you'll be like, I did this thing. And if that's all that comes from it, that is perfectly okay too. I love you. Take care of yourself. And I hope you see me again next week for the next talk.